Hello and welcome back to this edition of Daily Actives brought to you by Bootleg Macro. I'm Dustin. We are looking at Tesla once again. Tesla is a hot topic when you're looking at the daily actives in Yahoo Finance. Why? Because it has hella volume, has hella volatility, and honestly generally goes up. Now, if we look at Tesla today, we are up. It looks like we are up $2 and, or actually, what is it up? It's up 1.555%. That's actually pretty good. If we look at this here relative to where it has been, what I find to be really interesting is that it is well above its 20-day moving average, well above. The bottom of the range continues to scream higher. Again, if we look, it was at 164. I mean, 162 even on the first of the month. It's the 16th, and that's not 16 actual real days. That's like because we've had a bunch of closed days in terms of how the market's been operating. But this thing is crazy. The one thing I will say is that I do see the top of the range continue to go a little bit higher. I don't expect Tesla to hit 295. That's the honest concern that I have right now. I would say that Tesla's in the middle of its range. I want to be really cautious. It has been quite bullish. It looks like ever since the middle of May when it hit that 174 and it kind of had a breakout here. Um, I think that was really the beginning of when it started to show some real serious bullishness. Even if you're looking back, I mean, it's been bearish for quite a while. I mean, that's bearish all the way into January, and then it was bearish quite a bit in November, October, even back into September. So this bullishness has actually been welcoming for when you think about what you want to see, specifically on Tesla. Like Tesla is one of those stocks that if you catch it at the right time, you can make an absolute fortune. You can also lose your entire account depending on what kind of products or instruments you're using. Because I know there's multiple, like 3 times leverage. There's options. There's just a bunch of ETFs that have Tesla as a large holding. There's just a lot of different ways to play Tesla. Obviously, you can play it straight up. You can buy shares. You can buy options. You can buy whatever you want. I bet you there's a futures contract or something crazy on Tesla. So all I'm going to say here is do what you want, but I do think that Tesla's probably in the middle of its range. And I just want to point this out because I made this component mostly because I think this is the most important parts of an underlying model. I have a model that I built here. What is this? Yeah, so this is the overall model. It's honestly a little convoluted relative to what I think is the most important. You really care about the bullishness and bearishness. You really care about where it is in the range. Obviously, you do want to see like what the percentages are in the day, but if you just think about that, that's such a crazy price. The top of the range here is at 291, and the bottom is this around 238, now 266. I mean, that one's a sentiment based. I don't think sentiment based is actually really appropriate. You can see how different that range looks. It just jumps up and down. This is 117 versus 130. Actually, where are we at for Tesla? We go to Tesla, we're looking at, yeah, 138 versus 295. Just a crazy range on that thing. 166 wouldn't be bad, but that's really just based off of the idea of doing an adjustment. I don't really like doing the adjustment because I find that a fairer range when you're looking at an actual range here. Like this is, you're going to see this one. This is going to be 134 and then 291. And the reason why I like this range, so if you notice, that's way more accurate to actually how this range is being generated because it's non-sentiment based. I think a non-sentiment based range is actually much more appropriate. Now, obviously, when you're looking at Tesla, it gets nuts, but I think when you're looking at these moments when the range gets really tight and you get a really big breakout, I prefer those over when you're looking at a sentiment based. Because if we look at a sentiment based, it gets really tight here, but you really can't tell if it's because it's flipping negative and or positive or bullish or bearish. It does get tight, but it does the exact same action as on the non-sentiment based. That's why I built the component that way. I bring all that up because I think about the idea of what I have here is you have the evening equity insights. This is where you can get all of these different ranges for all these different products. You see, you get the exact same thing: the price, the volume, the trend, the rolling average, the lower high, the buy bottom, the sell top, and then you even get commentary. And the thing that I don't do on the actual component, but I do on this, is I actually show you specifically how far away it is from the bottom and how far away it is from the top. The reason why I do that is because I think it's really easy if you're scanning to start looking at where are the best opportunities when you're looking at an opportunity that might exist. So like right here, I would say that these types of oil products, I'd want to see them probably get a little bit lower. I know oil had a down day today, but those are the type of opportunities I'm looking for because I want to be able to scan, especially if I'm looking at the individual sectors here. I think it's really important to be able to find the specific sectors that you think are going to do well. I don't know if communications had a great day just yet, but I do think that especially from what I'm seeing here in financials, and I love that we saw a little bit of it. Not even a down day. I'm really curious what this is going to look like today, but tell me what you think in the comments below. Are you long? Are you short? Do you like it? Do you love it? Is this even a good review? And no matter what, have a great day.